Hello internet, and welcome back to my Big Damn TV Geek vlog. This week I want to talk comic book shows. They seem to be taking over TV a little bit, for better or worse, with more and more showing up every season. You're not going to hear any complaints from me though, because two of my favorite things this fall have been comic-based series. So let's get right to it. First up is The Walking Dead. I have had my fair share of issues with The Walking Dead throughout the run of the show, but I think season 5 thus far has been terrific. It's maybe the most consistently good string of episodes they've managed to put together over the course of the entire series run. They've really started to do a lot better with character development, which I think has always been kind of a weak spot for this show. They've gotten a lot more consistent with the existing characters, Rick, Michonne, etc. They've also done a way better job with the smaller side characters, so when someone like Bob dies, it still feels meaningful. And Beth can carry her own episode, which I never would have expected 2 seasons ago. And even more recently than that, Abraham gets this great highlight episode where we get these flashbacks and it makes his character feel a lot more real and it's really impactful. So these things are really helping the show do amazing stuff this season. I also think this year the fact that the group is not locked into a specific location is really helping the story a lot. We've seen things get stagnant when they're at one spot for a very long time, the farm, the prison. So now that they're on the move, the danger level feels a lot higher and it makes things a lot more intense, and I think that's really helping things a lot. My other favorite comic book show right now is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2 has been so good. I know a lot of people bailed on this show pretty early in season 1. If you are one of those people, I beg you, the show is now on Netflix, go catch up. It's totally worth it. It got so much better. You will not regret it. I really love the new team members they've added, especially Bobby Morse, Mockingbird. Adrienne Palicki is wonderful. She's so good at the kicking ass, taking names thing, and she's also got the banter with Lance Hunter, the other new guy on the team, down perfectly. She's been a blast to watch. I also just think the new focus of the show is infinitely more interesting than the kind of baddie of the week style they were using last year. We have these remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D. operating under the radar, trying to track down Hydra, and the kind of high stakes, on the run feel to all of it is way more interesting and way more fun. I do still have some minor concerns they're eventually going to try and do some crazy redemption arc for the traitorous Agent Grant Ward, who is way more interesting as a bad guy. But for the time being, I am enjoying watching him do his best Hannibal Lecter. The whole locked in a cage, tormenting Skye thing, and now he's on the run and still tormenting Skye thing has been fun to watch. So I'm willing to give them a pass for now, but they are on notice. No redemption arcs. Moving on to some of the newer comic book shows this year, starting with The Flash. What I really love about The Flash is that it's much less dark and intense than a lot of the other comic book superhero stuff on the air. Gotham, Arrow, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at times this year. This show's a lot lighter, it's not afraid to have some fun, and that's a nice change of pace. Barry Allen certainly has a tragic past. I mean, what superhero doesn't? But he's not a dark, gloomy, brooding type. He's just a kid that wants to help people, and that's a refreshing change of pace. I am also just absolutely loving the work of Ed Kavanaugh and Jesse L. Martin on this show. These are 2 actors I've always loved, so seeing them kind of have their fun in this series has been super enjoyable. And last but not least, we have Gotham. I desperately want this show to be so much better than it is. I'm still enjoying it, and it's flawed in interesting ways, but it's just not quite there yet. They have a problem with juggling way too many characters and wildly different tones and trying to get all of it to work in one episode, and they just haven't nailed it yet. I like the direction the Bullock and Gordon partnership's heading in. They've done a nice job with that the last few episodes. I think the Falcone, Fish Mooney, Penguin story has been very interesting lately. There was a fun little nugget at the end of the episode a couple weeks ago with Penguin and Falcone that I think points that story in a very fun way. I think they're still struggling with how to properly fit baby Bruce Wayne into the story, although I really love Alfred. I also think Barbara is a problem, and I wish she would go away. She's been the one character that really sticks out as being like a pointless and useless person in this universe. There is the meat of an excellent show here, and I just hope they can continue to point the ship in the right direction, because I think they're very close to figuring it out, and I would love nothing more than this to turn into some excellent show. Now, obviously, I didn't cover every comic book show on the air right now. Who has the time? I mentioned Arrow. I watched most of season 1 before I gave up on it because the writing of the female characters made me want to punch things. I've heard it's gotten better. It's in my Netflix queue. I know Constantine premiered this fall. I watched the pilot. It didn't really do anything for me. If it's super exciting and I should be watching it right now, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm super excited for Agent Carter to premiere in January. I think Haley Atwell is amazing as Peggy Carter, so I'm very excited about that. And I know there's a ton more in development. Daredevil for Netflix, and a couple of other Marvel shows that I don't remember off the top of my head. And I know there were a couple of DC shows greenlit for pilot season, so comic books are taking over our TVs, and it is awesome. Are you a fan of comic book series? Do you have a favorite on the air right now? Do you think there are way too many comic book shows on TV? Let me know in the comments. As always, please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel so you can keep on watching my vlog. You can follow me on Twitter at BigDamnTVGeek, and there's a link to my blog in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.